Simon Hally is a former business journalist who lives in Bracebridge and recently turned his hand to writing humorous fiction that pokes fun at the corporate way of life. At last year's Tall Pine Tales, he read chapter 1 of his first novel, Losing It, for which he is still seeking a publisher. This time he'll read an excerpt from the sequel, Owning Up, which remains a work in progress. Simon Hally.
A lady walks into a bar, Chase said to me and our buddy Nick. Stop me if you've heard this before. Sounds familiar, I said, but I thought it was a man. Different story, said Chase. This one's been updated for our more inclusive, gender-sensitive times. Nick said, if you were truly sensitive, you'd say woman instead of lady. It was late in the afternoon on a Wednesday in March. We were standing over next to the draft beer taps in a pub near Chase's office in Liberty Village, a neighborhood of Toronto where old factories and warehouses have been converted into lofts and commercial space or torn down and replaced by shiny condo towers. Nick had scored 3 tickets to the Leafs game and invited Chase and me to join him. We were planning to have a quick dinner at the pub before heading down to the Scotiabank Arena. You mean it's sexist to say lady instead rather than woman? Chase asked. That's my understanding, although they may have changed the rule again, Nick said. It's hard to keep track. Like it used to be okay to call us Oriental, but now you have to say Asian. Nick's parents had immigrated from Japan before he was born. How about Aboriginal or Indigenous, I said. Right, Nick said. Which is it now? Indigenous, I think. Oh, sometimes I say Native Canadian. Do you think that matters? Chase said, I don't get it. Calling somebody a lady should be a compliment. Unless it's a guy, of course, in which case he might take it the wrong way. Let's ask Michelle. She should know. Michelle was the bartender. Chase raised his hand to catch her attention. She came over to the taps across the bar from us. A white t-shirt bearing the pub's logo was stretched across her feminine curves, and her round face was ringed by blonde curls. Some people would call her cute as a button. What can I get you, gents? She asked. We have a question that demands your particular expertise, Chase said. Michelle blinked. Okay, but you should know I'm actually not a bartender. I'm an actor. I just play a bartender in real life. Chase smiled and shook his head. Not a problem. We don't require bartending expertise. We need your opinion as a woman. And as a lady, I added. Michelle glanced at me, her eyes crinkling prettily. What do you want to know? She said. Is it sexist to refer to a woman as a lady? Chase asked. Michelle pursed her lips and furrowed her brow. She was giving the question serious consideration. You should never call a woman a girl. Heavens no, said Chase. We're not barbarians, said Nick. Unless you're a woman, of course, I said. Women are allowed to call each other girls. Sure, that's different, said Michelle. But is it okay for a guy to call a woman a lady? It depends. On the circumstances. And on the guy. So it could be sexist, under certain circumstances. That's what I meant, Nick said to Chase. Safer to say woman. But that would ruin the joke, Chase said. Oh. Excuse me, duty calls, Michelle said, and moved off to the far end of the bar, where a dude with a white beard and tilly hat was signaling her. Now, where were we, Chase said. You've thrown me off my rhythm. I'll have to start again. He picked up his glass and took a long swallow of beer, Rickard's Red. I sipped at my pint of Sleeman Honey Brown. Nick was drinking wine, the house white. Michelle returned to the taps in front of us and began drawing a pint of Keith's. Chase set his glass down, took a breath, and said, A lady walks into a bar. Well, how about that? Michelle interrupted. She tilted her head towards the doorway. Chase, Nick, and I turned to follow her gaze. A woman stood inside the entrance as the door closed behind her. She was tall and slim, with short dark hair. Her coat was open, revealing a navy blue business suit with a skirt that ended above her knees. Good legs. She looked around the room as if searching for somebody, and as if she owned the joint, an air of authority. Nick was the first to get Michelle's point. "It's a lady," he said softly, "and she just walked into a bar." "Well, how about that?" Chase echoed Michelle's question. Life imitates art. At that moment, the woman's eyes fell on us. She nodded, made a little waving motion with her hand, and started over towards us. "Hey, wait a second," Chase said. "That's no lady. That's my boss."